What is going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media and Ballard Sports 360. Again, I want to try to do this show on a more consistent basis. This is episode 11. It's the first time I've had a guest on the show. If you ever want to be a guest on this show, we talk sports all the way around the sports world. You saw in the theme in the intro, which, by the way, I'm trying to work on making a new one, maybe one that's a little better. Because I've had that one ever since I started this show back 8 months ago, maybe. I don't know, but actually longer than that. I've been doing this show maybe the past year, I guess. So, but anyways, y'all do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. I see we got Alan A in here. What's up? And, of course, I put that comment there. But for the first time, we actually have a guest. And I've even said this multiple times. You know, if you want to be a guest on this show where we talk all sports all the way around, just hit me up on Twitter. Email me. Reach out. You don't even have to send me a message. Just say something on, like, a different stream. Like, hey, you know that 360 show? I'd like to be a guest sometime. We got Nate the Great in the back room. We'll talk some hockey with him pretty soon. We got the playoffs going on in the Stanley Cups. We have game 5 tomorrow night. Tampa Bay hosting Montreal. Tampa Bay looking to go back-to-back. No game tonight. But game 5 tomorrow. And then game 6, if necessary, game 6 on Friday. So Tampa could win back-to-back. They could do it tomorrow night. Montreal has only got one win. But we'll get into more of that with Nate the Great a little bit later on. What's up, Matt K says, congrats on 400. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Thank you so much. Means a lot. And I don't do it for all that. But, you know, I do this for my career. But along with that comes the subscribers and everything. But let's get into the NBA talk. Get into the NBA. We got the NBA Finals, the Hawks, the Bucks and the Suns. The Hawks did lose, though, unfortunately. But what a season for them. Anyway, that being said, you know, game 1 is tonight at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 Eastern. Phoenix is a favorite over Milwaukee. I don't know why I'm surprised by that. The Suns are probably the best turnaround team in sports history, in NBA history. I never thought in my lifetime I'd see the Suns there. But they got some good players. They really do. But how they're a favorite over the Bucks? I mean, kind of beyond me. You know, you got Giannis. He apparently Giannis is day to day. He's really the only player listed on the injury report for either of these teams. No injured players for the Suns. They got Devin Booker. They got Chris Paul. They got the crew. I think that the Suns will get it done tonight, but I think it'll be literally a back and forth series. You know, oh, we lost the last game, so we're gonna win this one, or we won the last game, so maybe they'll take a loss in this next one. But yeah, it starts tonight, 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern, over on ABC. I'm not here to act like I'm on radio by saying that or anything, but anyone's wondering where you could go and watch it. Definitely, it's on ABC. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a hell of a game and a really good series. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Who do you think's going to win? Speaking of playoffs, we also got the NHL Stanley Cup going on. I really don't have much else to say for this Suns and Bucks game other than the Suns are favored by 5.5. And we know what they've done, right? Like they're gonna lose a game or two in this series, right? Like they have in each one, right? Like no one's truly outright won every single game, but this will probably be the most interesting finals that we've had in quite some time. And we've had some good ones in recent years, but we'll just have to wait and see. I think the Suns get it done tonight to start out. I don't know what I want to put. I think it'll be very high scoring. I'm going to say 110 to 106 Suns, maybe. We'll go that high. But we'll have to wait and see. But let's go ahead and get into some Stanley Cup talk. Can my Tampa Bay Lightning repeat? A guy from the Tampa area. I lived there for 10 years of my life. Now I'm up here in Alabama, but, I carry it with me. I'm not ashamed to say, hey, I grew up in Florida. Not at all. But I want to bring in a good hockey expert, my good buddy and first-time guest on this show, Nate the Great.
Hey, buddy. Hey, Ballard.
Doing good.
So what we're gonna talk about is the Stanley Cup Finals, which is input is the Stanley Cup Finals, and I think in my image or my prediction, I think Tampa Bay might win in Game 6. So
Game 6?
Yeah. So Canadians might be on. They might beat the Lightning on Wednesday if they do good, because they've been the underdog the whole playoff series. If you didn't know,
Montreal.
Yeah, they've been the 8th seed. So
okay.
they reached.
So they've kind of been like,
yeah.
Like, okay, if you go back to March Madness, we had a 11 seed in UCLA make the Final Four. They've been kind of like that Cinderella type of team then.
Yeah.
You would say.
Yes.
Okay. Now, can I ask you what you think they have to do in order to win the game? Let's forget about the series, but let's start with tomorrow night in Game 5. What do they have to do to get a second win over Tampa Bay tomorrow?
I would just say, if I were just their coach, but I would say, like, play physical and get some shots on net to get some chance to score some goals, and Yeah, just like on Monday, they played a really physical game against Lightning, and
Yeah.
um, and plus there were brawls, but not much, but some. But I think they should carry on that game plan or game plan on the Wednesday. So
Mhm. Well, Montreal was fourth in the North Division.
yeah,
Um, in
yeah,
in Yeah, in the Northern Division, they were the fourth seed, but they had enough wins. They went 56-24. They had a losing streak of 5,
right,
but they pushed enough to get to the playoffs, and it's gone uphill from there. Now they won against the Lightning.
yeah,
Um, was it? Did they play yesterday or did they play?
yeah. They played it yesterday.
Okay,
Um,
and they dropped the first 3 to them. So obviously
yep,
tonight they need a big win after winning their first of the series in overtime. By the way, if Tampa pretty much and I've really just gotten into hockey this season, so I've kind of caught up on it. But um, if the Lightning win tonight, or I'm sorry, tomorrow, they
right.
pretty much win the series, right?
Yeah, yep. That you're correct.
So this is it. So this is we got Game 5 tomorrow night. It's pretty much a best of 5, possibly 6. Um, but okay. So Tampa, if they win tomorrow night, they'll win the series 4-1, and they're the
Yeah,
champs again. And if Montreal can win, it'll be 3-2, and they still have some life in them.
right. Um, yeah. If Montreal wins that game, it means I already said it, but it'll go Game 6. Uh, yeah, and plus the some teams like Detroit Red Wings, for example, they've been dominant in 2014 or 2000s, early 2000s. They won 3 back-to-back Stanley Cup, like in 2006, 2007. So that's
Yeah.
so and plus Montreal Canadiens. Well, it's in history, but they have the most Stanley Cups in NHL history, but all those in history though. But they're not the Montreal Canadiens they used to be. But yeah, I'm just rooting for the underdog. Well, no offense to you.
Oh
Ballard,
yeah, trust me. I get it. It's not going to upset me too much if the Lightning lose this. Um, even as and I'm just going to be honest. I mean, I'm more of a Rays and Bucks fan. Like I said, I mean, I've only been into hockey for a little while. At least been trying to get into it. So I mean,
right.
I'll be honest. I'm not even the biggest Bucks fan in the world. But still, it's like they just had one, and it's still a good season regardless,
Right.
win or lose. So I mean, it's not going to upset me too much. I really just want a good, entertaining game. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And if you want to watch the game, guys in the chat or in Ballard, it's on NBCSN, which is
Sports Network, right?
NBC and Sports Network. Yep.
Yeah, we're talking about NHL with Nate the Great, really great Michigan fan and big hockey fan too. What got you into hockey, Nate?
Um, at my hometown Omaha college hockey team, the Omaha Mavericks, basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we every year we have season tickets. Every year is just tradition for us. I think that's why I got into hockey in early age.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and the most the most hated team that I hate in hockey and college hockey is North Dakota or Minnesota.
Oh, rivals, right?
Yeah. Although Minnesota's not in our, which is Omaha's conference, but they play like over the years, but not really much. But on North Dakota, on the other hand, they been it's a rivalry, but it's not a really
Mhm.
big rivalry. But it's a how do I say it? It's a good rivalry. I think
Yeah.
the the all time series score is North Dakota has like 28 wins, and I think or Omaha has 17 wins and
Yeah.
3 ties. So it's pretty close if you think about it. But yeah, if you guys want to talk about hockey, I know some. Actually, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me or NHL is probably the underrated sport in the world. um, I don't think it gives a lot of credit in the world. I don't know, because yeah. Do you think NHL is an underrated sport?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And I saw a couple months ago too. I'm actually excited for this. I'll be able to actually watch it more because I mean I know they have it on sport NBC Sports Network or
Yeah.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but you know they the NHL signed a deal with ESPN for next season of
Mm-hmm.
air games on ESPN. So hopefully
Yeah.
I can actually watch them more instead of just catching all the highlights or whatever. But
Right.
uh, that'll be something. I saw something too. Um, you know, the Lightning could make history in Game 4. Not only would it be winning a second straight um, title, but apparently they can join the 1989 Flames team as the only team to win the cup against the Canadiens in Montreal. No other team has done it except for that 1989 Flames team in Calgary.
Right. If you look at some history in NHL history, you can look at you don't have to. I don't know if you want to do it, but you can look up um the like who has the most or has I don't know. I already said it, but who has the most Stanley Cups, and it'll show you and what years and they won it. But it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty awesome, actually. Um, Now, here's the difference between watching on TV and going to the game. Going to the game is way different than watching on TV.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I've heard.
um, yeah,
Yeah, I've heard that hockey games in person can be a really good show. I mean, I'd love to go to one someday. You know, and I've talked on here a few times, and just in general, like there's certain sport, like even baseball, in my opinion, just the experience of going to a game, it is a little bit better than just sitting at home and watching it on television. I've never been to a hockey game, but I definitely have it on my bucket list. I'd love to go to one sometime.
yeah. If you uh, maybe the closest one is probably either uh, maybe Tampa Bay or Carolina Hurricanes. Either one of those two.
Carolina, is that in Charlotte, Carolina, right?
Yes, I think, or Raleigh. Um, Either one of those two. Yes. Um,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, but now, Carolina has won 2 Stanley Cups in the early 2000s. In 2005, I think 2004 too. Yeah, they had 2 Stanley Cups right now. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Well, if you didn't know, Seattle is getting a new professional team.
Really?
Yes.
Now, how have I not heard this? So, is this? What sport?
Dun 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 dun. Hockey.
NHL.
Yeah, it's basically a expansion team.
Okay.
So
There you go.
they expanded back in 2017. NHL did, and they chose Las Vegas over Quebec, which I wanted Quebec, but it's all right.
Right.
But Seattle is a big deal because they love their sports. And plus the team name, you might like this team name actually. Their team name is the Seattle Kraken.
Kraken.
Yeah, like
Okay.
the mythical creature.
Release the Kraken.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and their arena looks pretty good. If you want to look it up, but I think it's called the Climate Pledge Arena, which is weird, but yeah, and plus I think they had the first. I think they're the first ever arena to have 2 scoreboards on an arena.
You said it's it's Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Pledge Arena.
Yes.
A
Climate Pledge. Yeah.
There we go. Let's show the people what we're talking about here.
That's a pretty darn good team too.
Holy crap! Look at this. Let me zoom in just right on it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna make history too with the scoreboards.
That is incredible. That's a really nice arena.
Yeah, if you look in the inside of it,
is this it here?
Not that
well, that
one,
was
but
construction though.
Yeah, I think there's a concept that'll right there.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love the green too. I think it's a really good.
See, I think they're gonna make history of those 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty darn deep and pretty darn good.
Wisconsin Sports Fan says the first to also use its own city's water system for the ice. Is that true?
That is true. Yeah, it's true.
That is no other city uses their own water system to help with the ice.
Well, here's the thing. He meant like when it rains, which is it rains a lot in Seattle, you know.
Yeah, it does.
and that's why they're gonna have a system that contracts or connects the rain to make the ice.
Right.
So that's pretty darn cool. If I'm, so yeah, they are being more advanced than modern arenas.
That's really cool. They're like using technology or upgrades or whatever you want to call it, basically to their advantage to create probably what will be, in a couple years we'll be looking at it as probably the coolest NHL arena there is.
Yes, and I think there's a hockey one somewhere in that, and there's, and just like that, but
but for the hockey,
yeah.
Let me see. There we
see.
go. That looks like the rink. The rink.
Yes.
Yes. That is so cool. Hold on. Let me zoom in just right on it. Look at this. Seattle right there. You got the logo. It's a perfectly shaped rink there. Plenty of seating too. I love how it's shaped. Like, look at the upper decks right here. You got windows to look outside. You got decks up here. There's like 3 rows right above, pretty much the lower seating. That is incredible.
It might be the loudest arena.
It might be. That is incredible. I cannot. I'm telling you, man. NHL, I saw a few months ago, is coming to ESPN. I cannot wait for that to happen, so I don't got to worry about paying for no NHL channels.
Right.
Which actually, I think I saw the other day. My grandparents might actually have 1 or 2 of them, but still, either way, just I mean, NHL in recent years has been like a premium buy the channel type of deal just to watch the games, or ESPN Plus, and now with it coming to ESPN, the viewership ratings will go through the roof, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, it may not a lot of people watch it, but at least they're getting ESPN.
And people like me who have wanted to watch it but can't because of like all the premium payments or subscriptions or whatever, they bring it to ESPN. It'll be like, now I can watch it for practically free other than my cable bill.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy because, and plus, just a suggestion for you, Ballard. Maybe sometime you can make a video you can react to the NHL's goal horns. If you want.
Horns?
Yeah, like every team's NHL goal horn, but you can make a video about that. But it doesn't have to be it right now. But yeah, in my opinion, I think the Boston Bruins horn is the most popular one. But
yeah, yeah. So this is going to be really fun, I think.
Yeah.
I think, let's see, we kind of talked about the Bucks and the Suns. Do you have any thoughts on what we'll see in the NBA Finals? Do you have anything to add to that?
I think I know I don't watch a lot of NBA, but I think the Booker will be a big impact for Suns and Chris Paul.
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, that'll definitely give them a spark against a very talented and elite Bucks team. It'll definitely be what they need.
Yeah, and plus I don't know how many games Giannis is out, but hopefully not a lot.
I think he's at least missing the next one.
Yeah.
But we have, I think, double check. Game 1 is tonight at 8 o'clock. Now, either team, you could say, needs game 1. Just for a good momentum swing and a good start to it.
Right.
But I feel like the Suns definitely need it more. And they're favored by 5.5. And I'll just say this. The Suns have all of their players. They're all healthy. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, all of them. So the Bucks don't have Giannis. Well, if they win without Giannis tonight, that'll be a really big deal.
Right.
To do that in the first game, to start off the season with a good start, right? Even with Giannis, that'd be huge. But the fact that they would do it without Giannis Antetokounmpo tonight, and the Greek freaks out, and you win Game 1 over this team that we've talked about all year and all throughout the playoffs, that's made probably the greatest turnaround in franchise history in NBA, and like the history of any NBA franchise, and you beat that team without your best player that you need.
Right.
The Bucks can win without him, though. Holiday and Lopez could both put up 30. Middleton would. That's true, but at the same time, like, you know, are they gonna be? What are you gonna do with? I mean, are you gonna sit there and say that those guys? Yeah, they could win, but 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you, those guys compare that to Booker and Ayton and Chris Paul for the Suns, all there on the floor scoring just a little bit more. They still score a little bit more. They kind of have an edge.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in my prediction, I think the Bucks upsets the Suns in Game 7. It can go. I think they'll go all.
You think it goes? See, they'll have Giannis back by then for sure.
Right. Yeah.
Now I can see that. I really want to see the Suns do it, but at the same time, man, this team. I think here's what's going to happen. I think the Suns probably win the first 2 games, and then the Bucks come back. They have Giannis in there, and they light it up a bit, right? And I think ultimately it'll be tied at 3-3. And I think you're right. I think we get a Game 7. And I would agree. I think it's close. I think it'll be a really good Game 7. But I think because of maybe a slow start of the series, the Bucks get some momentum late in the series in like 5 and 6, force the Game 7. And I think Giannis gets it done. I really do. I hate to say that because I'd love to see the Suns complete this historic year for the franchise and what they've done. I'd love to see them win it. But, I really don't know. Anything that happens in this series would not surprise me other than it not being at least a win. Like, I could not – the only thing that would not shock me is if one of these teams won every single game.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just won it outright and it not even be close. Outside of that, if the Bucks win it with Giannis, fine. If the Suns win it, that's fine.
Yep.
Too. Although I will say, let's say the Bucks find a way to win it without Giannis Antetokounmpo. Would that be a huge shot?
Yeah, that would be a huge shot.
I guess that's kind of, that or it not being that good of a series would be the only 2 things that could surprise me. So,
yeah. I'm excited for the. I know we've been talking about NBA, but I'm real excited for. I forgot to tell you that the Kraken Seattle Kraken is playing their first ever, well, not ever, but they played the Seattle had a hockey team before, but it was like in late 1920s though. But they haven't had a hockey team since. So.
In like 100 years.
Yes.
Almost. Yeah.
And they'll be back in hockey I think there's I forgot what NHL regular season starts, like the opener. I forgot what it starts, but I hope they win their game opener because the every expansion team opener, or relocation team opener, is a big one because to their city. If you lose that game, it's okay, but it's not as good as you think because
Nope, we lost Nate. Hopefully he can get back in here. But yeah. Oh, here we go.
hit the wrong button.
You're fine, man. What were you saying?
What was I saying?
I think we were I know we were talking about the NBA, and then you started going on about I think that new stadium in hockey.
Yeah.
Or like an expansion team.
Yes. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Yes. That season opener for the Kraken means a lot to Seattle fans because they wanted a third team because they either wanted a basketball team or a hockey team because obviously basketball was the ideal choice, but
right.
But hockey came out on top. But I think the fans for Seattle for hockey will love it because although it's been 100 years since they had a hockey team, I think they'll share the same blood with the old hockey Seattle hockey team. So I hope they win their first game. Just imagine playing the Lightning in the first game at home. Wow. That'll be a hard game for them if they play them.
Yeah, this will be huge for Seattle, who obviously has the Seahawks in the NFL and the Mariners in baseball in the MLB to get the what is it? The Seattle Kraken, right?
Yes.
Now they're going to be in the NHL next season, the Pacific Division in the Western Conference, and like you said, they call it expansion teams. And of course, we saw the arena that they have. So what? I mean, I guess maybe it's too early to ask what your expectations are for them to, when they start playing. Do you think they'll be a good team right away and surprise some people, or?
Yeah, I mean, I hope they do well, which is I just hope they do when I just hope they do good like Vegas did in 2018 when they faced in the Stanley Cup Finals with that expansion team.
Yeah,
Vegas went as expansion team their first year, went to the Stanley Cup Final, but lost to the Capitals, unfortunately. I want Seattle to do that, but not to get ahead of myself, or them, but I want them to succeed.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's gonna take some time. They're gonna get you into the league. They're gonna get players. They're gonna be new, and they're slowly gonna take those baby steps into getting into the league and playing professional hockey. But this is good for the city of Seattle. I think to get a hockey team, good for the state of Washington. Good for hockey in general, man. A new team. Hockey fans need to just be excited for this, I think.
Yeah, everyone watch every team. They're excited for the Kraken. They're bandwagon for the Kraken. Not to be honest. And plus for the Kraken, so they some NHL analysis podcast on YouTube. We're talking about potential rivalries with the Seattle Kraken.
Yeah.
So you know how Seattle Kraken is not far from Vancouver, right?
That is true.
So
Because obviously Seattle, Washington, that's right there.
Way.
Yeah, on the U.S. border right there. And of course, we know how, it is with like the connection with Canada right there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I actually want that to be the rivalry, like Seattle Kraken versus Canucks. That's what they're Vancouver Canucks. That should be a great rivalry because it's right on the border, really close. And maybe a second rivalry for Seattle is probably either Vegas or San Jose. Just imagine San Jose as their second rival because if you think about it, the Sharks like the Megalodon versus the Kraken. Get that?
yeah, man.
Yeah, if you ever go to a hockey game, they do usually intros before the game. And pretty cool intros, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So. Yep.
So what else do you have for us? I know we talked a bit about the Stanley Cup playoffs. We got an expansion team in Seattle. This is pretty cool, and of course, I mentioned next season for NHL. I have no excuse; it'll be on ESPN, so I definitely would have to tune in. Anything else hockey wise that you have, as far as
yes,
you
so it as a Omaha fan, there's a player called Chase Primo. He's like a center for Omaha.
Yeah.
He's the son of I forgot his first name, but he was a professional NHL player. I forgot what name, but he's the son of I don't know Primo. And he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Even from a son of an NHL player, these are pretty good.
Yeah. I'm gonna let I dropped the link only for Jeff because he's always got some good sports knowledge and talk. So I'm gonna let Jeff on. What's going on?
Don't you know what that is, Nate, don't you?
Yeah.
Ballard don't.
Was that? I'm gonna take a guess though. Was that the old NHL intro?
No. That's the goal song that the fans in Chicago chant. That's literally the opening part to a song called Chelsea Lover by a band called the Fratellis.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's called.
And everybody, when the Blackhawks score, the horn goes off 3 times. And that does it 3 times, and then they start playing the opening to that song, and everybody goes da 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 da, and the visiting teams absolutely hate it.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying, to be honest. If you, I don't know if you listen to Jeff, I don't know if you listen to Nashville's song, like Nashville Predators. After they do their horn, and they yell chant "You suck" or something like that. Like they're trying to say that to the other team, the opponent team, but it's pretty funny.
The one thing that I really liked is when I was wondering what they were going to do when they moved out of Chicago Stadium, the old Chicago Stadium, and across the street to the United Center.
Mm-hmm.
When they built the United Center in the early '90s, what would they do for the Blackhawks? And they took the horn with them.
Wow.
So the horn that you're hearing is the old Chicago Stadium horn, and it's probably I don't know. I mean, you might be able to look it up. I don't know, but I would guess it's just about as loud a sound as you are legally allowed to have inside in an arena in the United States.
Yeah.
I don't know that you're allowed to manufacture anything with a higher decibel level in an enclosed space. But when that horn goes off, I mean,
Yeah.
you feel your teeth shake.
Yeah, like most horns in the NHL are loud, but I think Chicago's pretty loud at its own peak. In my opinion, I think the loudest horn in the NHL is probably the Nashville or St. Louis.
I was telling Jeff, or I was telling Nate earlier, I would love to definitely go to an NHL game sometime. I'm curious.
Oh.
What's the quietest horn? So that way, like, for my first time, it's not so.
The
Winnipeg, I think. I don't know.
Winnipeg.
Hockey is
All
the one sport. Hockey's the one sport that, if you see it live, it'll change what you think about the sport.
Oh yeah, that's how I got into baseball. Was the first game I ever at least remember going to was a Braves game. I don't remember who they played. I was young, but we had like some Braves gear or whatever. And of course, my brother and I growing up, we played baseball. So, but yeah, I think definitely you go to a sporting event, go to a game, or let alone like Alabama. I grew up just watching it with my parents all the time, watching the games. That's how I got into that, became a Bama fan because I watched the games with my parents. But like you were just trying to say too, Jeff, like, you go to a hockey game, it'll change your viewpoint on it, or it's a great experience, and it'll, I mean, it was kind of like that for me, even with baseball.
Yeah,
it's the one sport where you need somebody to explain to you what's going on.
Yeah,
right.
There aren't that many rules, there aren't that many penalties, but they're easy to explain and they're not difficult to understand.
Right.
And then if you see the game played at a good college, a high minor league level, and especially if you see the NHL, you'll really appreciate the skill involved. And the NHL guys are just, when you see an NHL game live, it'll blow you away, the athleticism.
Oh, I'm
because
sure.
You got to remember that everything you're looking at is happening on a quarter inch of steel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's amazing how all these players, and then again, I get it's ice, but I mean, even still on skates in a bunch of pads and all that, I at least go on YouTube and watch highlights of these games, even if I can't watch a lot. It's amazing how fast some of these hockey players can be on the ice too. I'll tell you that.
Well, Nate will probably.
Yeah.
Tell me how close I am here, Nate. When they do the skills at the All-Star game, they'll have a guy line up at the red line. Well, there used to be a red line. There's not anymore. But they'll have a guy line up at center ice, and he'll skate around the rink. He'll make one revolution around the rink, and he's got to skate. Pretty much, they set up cones, so you can't cut inside. You got to skate around the perimeter of the rink.
Yes.
And the fastest guys in the league can do that around 14 seconds, you think, Nate? 14, 15 seconds?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think, in my mind, everyone knows this, but except for basketball fans or football fans, I think Connor McDavid is the fastest player right now. If Jeff, if you agree, because he plays for Edmonton Oilers, he's really fast. I think he got 13 seconds and 13.6 seconds, I think.
Yeah, which is just
insane.
You got to understand that. You got to understand that an NHL rink is 200 feet,
right,
or 180 feet. So you're talking about doing 180 feet circle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's 180, but then that's one length. That's you got to go around the corner. Got to go around the corner, down the other straightaway, and then around the corner. You know what I mean? That's not 180 feet from point A around the oval back to point A again. It's not 180 feet. It's just 180 feet is the length of the ice. So yeah, it's amazing. And somebody one year, like, and it wasn't just recently, it was like 6 or 7 years ago.
Right.
I was watching the skills competition on Saturday night, and they said, okay, how do you tell the fan at home, what does this translate into? If these guys were going in a straight line, how fast would they be going? And it was something like the fastest guys, I think they said, were going like 14, 15 miles an hour. Okay, you think 14, 15 miles an hour on my bicycle, that's not, in my car, that's nothing, that's going down the parking lot. You're doing that in all your gear, with your stick in your hand, with your gloves on, and you're doing it on ice from a dead stop.
Yeah. Right. You got so much.
Amazing. It's amazing what these guys can do.
It's like one of those, like, if you didn't have all those obstacles, I could do that. But like you just mentioned, you got all that, the pads on, you're on ice, you're on skates. They got a few obstacles in their way in that scenario,
And then the hardest slap shots are usually in the high 90s. There might be, at any one time, 5-6 guys in the league that can shoot 100 miles an hour. Most guys can't reach 100.
Right.
But there's guys that'll shoot in the mid 90s. And if you've ever held a puck in your hand, if you ever know what a regulation puck feels like, imagine that some bitch coming at you.
Myself out.
At 90 plus miles an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the hardest shot right now currently is Shea Weber, which is the captain of the Montreal Canadiens, I think he reached like 100, I forgot how many, but I think he was like 109 miles per hour.
Wasn't Shea Weber, didn't he used to be with the Predators?
Yeah, he used to be with Predators, and then he
got traded. For a long time, the hardest shot every year, the same guy kept winning it. It was Al McInnes. He kept winning it every year.
Yeah, and then
he would shoot like 102, 103.
Yes. And it's and the hardest Russian player, the hardest slap shot for Russian player is Sergei Fedorov, if you remember that.
So Konstantinov had a great shot too until he got hurt in the limo wreck.
Right.
He had a when Chris Berman used to do the NHL highlights in the 80s and the 90s on Sports Center, if Berman did a highlight for hockey and somebody had a big slap shot from out on the point, he'd say it was a Canadian blast. Now he's a Canadian blast. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think my hardest slap shot was like, I would guess 75 miles per hour.
But, yes.
Yeah. And of course, with the pros, like with anything else, everything's going to increase by small margins as we go forward. Mm-hmm. As the technology of the sticks gets better, as the technology of the skates gets 1%, 2% better, the sticks get 1%, 2% better. The they're about as good as you can get. The margins on the edge are very, very tiny, but it's enough to make a difference.
Right. Yeah.
It's enough.
The blades used to be straight with wood. Now
Yeah.
they're like.
Well, the best stick you could have bought in 1991 compared to the best stick you can buy in 2021, 20 years later, there's not that much of a difference. The technology hasn't improved that much, but it's improved enough that it does make a difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like there's been a major innovation like, oh my God, we have a new composite material, or oh my God, we found a new way to, it's not like there's been a eureka discovery moment. It's just that what they do, they get a little bit better at it all the time.
Right. Yeah. That's
Like,
great.
I have my so I have 2 sticks right now. Not right now, but like I have a warrior stick. Yeah, that's my face. So I have this warrior. It's like a 75 flex. I don't know, you can't see it because there's tape on it, but the edge is not. I don't like the edge at all. Like it's like a really.
That's really curved, dude.
Yeah, I think it's more. I think it's more for wrist shots.
Doesn't that put you at a disadvantage a little bit? Because don't you want the edge of your hockey stick? Shouldn't it be as straight as it could?
Well, no, you want it hooked. You want it hooked. It gives you a whiplash effect.
Right.
That's why they check the blades before every match. They can only be curved a certain percent. If you go beyond that percent, they'll throw your stick out.
Right.
Gotcha.
Like if it's like too curved, that's probably illegal. But
Nate's holding what could be a borderline illegal stick.
I have real quick. Hate to interrupt the hockey talk. We'll get back to that in a second. But 2 big things: rookie quarterback signing. Trevor Lawrence signs $36.8 million contract for 4 years, with a $24 million signing bonus. Mac Jones also, Jeff, signing his contract today.
Nice.
It's it just released by Adam Schefter on Twitter. He signed Mac Jones with the Patriots, signed a 4-year deal, $15.6 million contract with a 5th-year option.
Nice.
Yeah. The Joker.
Kyle Pitts with the most expensive tight end contract ever.
Yeah, that's
4
true.
years, $32.9 million, and he hasn't caught a pass yet.
That's it,
coming. I'm just kidding. He's not gonna be a bust, but we don't know.
I don't think he'll be a bust. I just like Jeff just said, what'd you say the contract was? I know it was a lot, but I mean, still, that's pretty much for a tight end.
I think I saw, if I'm not mistaken, it was 32.9.
Wow. Basically paying this kid, I don't want to say kid because I'm about his age, if not younger, but I mean, they're paying this man. There we go. That sounds better. $33 million annually for what was it?
No. 33 million over 4 years.
Over 40. Okay, so by the end of that deal, he'll have that much. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's a lot.
Trevor Lawrence will have 36 whatever at the end of his deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what he's getting per year. That's what his deal's worth.
Right.
Oh, I've always read this wrong then. So Mac Jones at the end of 4 years will have $15.5 million then.
If he signed a 4-year contract worth $15 million, that means he's got a contract that'll pay him $15 million over the course of 4 years.
Okay. Yeah, I got
Otherwise, it would be a $60 million contract. And he would be getting $15 million annually.
Yes. Okay.
That's why they always say it's not the first contract, don't blow your money. It's the second contract where they make their money.
Right, off your rookie deal.
Because Lawrence is going to make about $8.5, $9 million a year, and Dak Prescott's making 30-some million. How much do you think if Lawrence has 4 great years, he'll be worth at least $30 million a year?
Yeah.
When it comes time to renew. So you got to live to the second contract.
Right.
Right.
That's where it kicks in.
Yeah.
Not that $15 million in 4 years isn't already kicking in.
Oh, no, that's already in the bank.
Yeah. We're in a relative scheme of things.
Yep.
Yeah. Like you said, Jeff. I'm not trying to change the subject, but like what? How can you tell? Like, how can you tell? Like, if this is like a illegal stick, if here, with the blade.
Well, the linesmen will have they have the little thing they carry around.
Oh,
the little and they it fits over the end of the stick. It's like a when you go to get your shoe you go to the shoe and they put your foot in that shoe thing and they measure your foot, and the guy will put your foot in there and he'll measure your foot and they'll lower the little thing and it's kind of like that. They'll put a little thing in there on the stick and your stick can't bend. It has to fit inside that guide.
Oh, so
and I don't know off the top of my head what the percentage is in the NHL. I don't know what the curvature rule is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do know that they are extremely strict on it.
Right.
And that's one of those things that you can't get away with. You can't get away with cheating the curve of your stick because the other players will notice it. The other coaches will notice it. They'll call the attention to the linesman about it or the referee about it. I mean, it's just something you can't get away with.
Right. Like, I can't tell. Plus, I can't tell if it's illegal or legal. So I just play with it. So.
Oh, it don't matter for you. You're just pick up game. It's not like you're a pro.
Yeah, this stick is made for like snapshot. What shots, man?
Oh, I got something to show you, Jeff. This is great. This video is called Neighborhood Reaction to the Devontae Smith catch. Remember the one-handed one he pulled in against LSU?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. This is hilarious. It's supposed to be as a joke, but I mean... Hold on. Wait till this man goes outside. The Slim Reaper going deep. He got it. Watch this. There's like sirens going off. We need to put that man in jail for destroying and killing defenses. Yeah. That's great.
I think NFL has horns for a touchdown horn. I think NCAA should have one of those. I think NCAA should have a rule that stadiums can have a horn for a touchdown.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Well, I know. I don't know how. I guess it's just something they do in Atlanta. I don't know, but I remember seeing a few years ago when Jalen Hurts ran that one in against Georgia. He ran that touchdown in, and they were like, sound effect, like train sound effects. I don't know, going off like it was crazy, but
Right.
I don't know if that's something they did just because it was Bama, or if they do that like every year for the SEC title. I don't know. I must have missed something.
There you go.
Okay, well, I've got iCubs duty tonight, so I'm going to step out. We'll talk to you guys later.
Yes, sir, Jeff. I'm actually going to end the show here, but to Nate, first off, Jeff, thanks for coming on, and Nate, thanks for being the guest and talking some hockey today.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks. Nate the Great coming on here talking some NHL. I cannot wait. I'm telling you, I cannot wait for ESPN to pick it up next year. It's going to be amazing. Maybe I'll do some hockey game streams for you guys. Maybe I can actually watch some hockey instead of just watching YouTube highlights. But anyways, so we got the NHL playoffs going on. We got the NBA finals going on this week too. A lot to talk about and keep an eye on. Jeff, thanks for coming on for a bit too. Interesting stuff he shared about some stuff with hockey that he has experienced. But y'all do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. I really would appreciate it. Yeah, just subscribe for more. Thank you again for 400 subscribers. We just hit that. Let's, I guess, now on to 500. But yeah, y'all hit the thumbs up on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. Let me double check the chat. Thank you, Alan. Of course, Jeff. Wisconsin sports fan. And of course, Nate Kingston for coming on. Nate the Great. Matt K. Thank you all for showing up today. I love each and every one of you. Jesus loves you. Keep your head up. Hope y'all have a blessed week ahead. God bless. And until next time, roll tide roll. Woo! Woo!
It really doesn't matter what you think. All right? It really doesn't matter what you say.
Okay. Roll down tide.